Okay, let's get another flight on our FlyBear SR-72 Darkstar. I think the mode that I like best is mode B in high rate. It gives you a tighter turn radius and it feels a little more responsive. So let's see if we can launch it. I've got one of my two S400s in it. Seems like it's a little low on power. Now it's moving pretty good. It's not a powerhouse, I can tell you that. It's got, I would say, less than a 1-to-1 thrust to weight ratio, but it is a beginner plane, and I'm throttling back. It does want to do that high alpha a little bit in the turns. But yeah, look at the turn radius on that in mode B and high rate. I like that. That gives you a decent turn radius. Slow it down again. And you could tell when you lay off of the throttle, it does drop the nose because the elevator is mixed in with the throttle. So I don't care for that too much. As long as you keep it at about 75% throttle, you know, cruising around at about 75% throttle, it maintains its line pretty well. I've got it at 75% throttle right now. And that maintains its altitude pretty well. Just a little bit of elevator in the turn. But it's a nice flying little fully stabilized, you know, brushed EDF is kind of cool. That's kind of cool, I think. And it's a very, very different looking airframe, isn't it? But look at that. I mean, that's a good turn radius in mode B and high rate. You've got pretty good control authority in that mode. So, you know, fly it around in mode A and low rate, then fly it around in mode A in high rate, and then put it in B, low rate. Get comfortable with it. I think most people are going to enjoy flying this in B mode in high rate. It just has it has a good feel for it, you know, in that mode in high rate. Check that out. That's a pretty good turn radius. Okay, so one other thing, I do have a US penny Velcro to the front, you know, underneath that little rubber nose. I put a piece of Velcro on the front of that, fuselage underneath that nose, and then Velcro to US penny to it. So that's, the weight of a penny is 2.5 grams. With the Velcro, it's probably about 2.75 grams of nose weight. I like that. I like that weight on the nose. I think it makes it a little better behaved, a little more stable. It's just ever so slightly tail heavy, I think. And I think one of the reasons it feels that way is because they've mixed elevator in with the throttle. I think that if they hadn't done that, if they hadn't mixed in elevator with the throttle, I don't think you would have needed any nose weight on it. I really don't. But pretty cool little stabilized SR-72. I don't like the 3D mode. I've tried that. I've tried the 3D mode. I think I've posted a video of it. Very unstable and very sluggish on the controls in 3D mode. I don't understand that. But yeah, I can't stand the 3D mode on this plane. But in stabilized mode, it flies pretty well. It's a pretty stable flying little plane. Okay, let's see if we can bring it in and land it. I'm going to leave it in B high rate mode when I bring it in. We'll see how that works out. Oh, not bad. That was a really high alpha landing, but not bad. Yeah, so I launched it in that mode and I landed it in that mode. Mode B, high rate. That's the mode I like. So if you guys are looking for a little beginner plane, it's kind of cool that it's a dual EDF, even though it's brushed motors instead of brushless motors. It doesn't have a lot of power, but it's fun cruising around. There goes my timer. I guess I landed just in time. It's pretty stable in the air and fully stabilized modes. And like I said, I like B with the high rate. I think it's nice and responsive and has a nice tight turn radius in that mode. So I don't have any complaints with it in the stabilized modes. The 3D mode I think is absolutely atrocious. I don't like it. So I'll let you be the judge of that. If you're just looking for a plane to fly around in stabilized mode, practice touch and goes, practice high alpha with it. It's a fun little plane and it's fairly inexpensive. There'll be links to it in the show notes. So that's a wrap on this episode. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the air.